Regulate. Shh. Perfect. Regulate. Regulate. Heard they talking spicy, time to regulate. Heard they talking about me, I'ma regulate. They don't really want to see me regulate.
Crazy stuff. Well, welcome to the American Made Podcast, episode 21. Wow, 21 episodes.
I was about to say that. Shit, it's been a lot of episodes.
Yeah, you know, we're only getting better. I mean, if we go back, you know what's crazy? I was going back the other day to episode 1. I'm like, holy shit, we're starting to get it together after 20 episodes, which is dope because I've done a podcast, but it's completely different from this. Like nowhere in this world with the amount of research and stuff that I'm starting to do. And, you know, you're natural born for this stuff. That's a given right there. But, as we're getting ground, as we're starting to see more things, like see how this maneuvers, man, is just becoming easier. It's becoming more, I'm becoming more comfortable doing this, you know? Doug, who was here last episode, we were talking about this, and he was like, you know, I was embarrassed because of, you know, some reasons and whatnot. And I'm like, dude, I'm fucking embarrassed all the time, man, when I'm on that microphone. I don't know if what I'm saying is right or not. I'm just trying to figure it out, but I just know I can't shut my mouth up and I have to say something with what's going on, you know? And what Doug says, I think it's fucking brilliant. I think he's very, very well educated in what's going on. That's why next episode he better be on here.
Oh, for sure. I love it when Doug comes on. He's a character.
Yeah, man, he's awesome, man. He's a good guy. So that's what it is, man. Episode 21. I still got my loud squeaky chair. So if you guys hear my squeaky chair, forgive me in advance. I'm not getting rid of it anytime soon. I have this habit that I don't get rid of shit till it's like I can't use it no more. So like the seat better. You're the same way. The seat's gonna have to break backwards, miss the two side arm things, and then maybe I'll replace it. Maybe, but if it still has a cushion, I'll probably still sit on it. Pause.
Yeah, why not? Save yourself some money.
But yeah, man, we got a couple of interesting things here that we're gonna talk about in this episode, and you know, there's so much going on, man. I'm like, man, I need to. There's just like I wish I could just pile in everything that's happening because it's just so much, right? So what we've been doing is just capturing some key stuff that people should know, and you know, hoping that people receive this and actually do something about what's going on right now because things are not getting better. You know, yesterday, I'm not going to get into crazy detail over it, but I was with a loved one in particular yesterday, and the things that I experienced were freaking sad. And I'm starting to really believe that these symptoms, these things that are happening to this individual, is coming from a particular thing that they're trying to push on people, that people went and got, and you know, people are suffering consequences.
That they pushed against the population. I mean, look at the coercion with the jobs and all that stuff. I know quite a few people that hated taking it, and they've been shitting bricks ever since because they didn't want to lose their job.
Yeah, I know people like that too, and I'm talking to people now who are telling me, they're like, you know, I know people who are having adverse reactions, who are, you know, not doing well. Matter of fact, I'm gonna read this text message right now. I was just texting a buddy of mine, and he said, you know, trust me, I've heard, because I was telling him about my concerns. He's like, trust me, I've heard of some oddly deaths from people I know's family, and they all point towards one thing, you know, and we're gonna get into that conversation with them, and in fact, we're gonna cover some stuff here as well. But just time to call that bullshit out more because the amount of corruption right now that we're experiencing and witnessing is insane. Not only in the world of vaccines, but with what's going on overseas with the whole war right now in Ukraine and Russia, stuff that's going on with the Chinese government. Sorry, I pressed the button there. With the Chinese government, stuff that's going on here with the ATF violating and infringing on our rights. It is just ridiculous. So much is happening. It needs to end now. And I feel like that's a perfect setup for our first topic. But matter of fact, I want to just state right off the back the three things we're going to talk about right now. Okay, we're going to talk about Tulsi Gabbard leaving the Democratic Party. Are you surprised?
I'm not surprised, but I don't trust her though.
Me neither.
Still.
Huh?
I'm not surprised, but I don't trust her. I feel like she has a lot to prove. I mean, don't get me wrong. Do I think she makes sense? Absolutely. But, and I know you're going to get more into it, but just my commentary on this whole thing. I mean, she has great ideas. I like what she says, but I feel like she has a long way to go to prove herself to me and to the rest of the world, because she actually in 2015, she was selected as one of the young global leaders that nominated by the Schwab Entrepreneur Foundation. She has ties to the World Economic Forum.
And there's more. There's other stuff in there too. But hold that thought before we get into that, because I want us to get into that, because I have my points of concern. I won't lie and say she's not my political crush, because she kind of is. But you know, she's got red flags. You know, is she Latina? Let me stop.
So you're the guy that ignores the red flags even if you see them.
I don't know what you're talking about. Topic 2, we're going to talk about the COVID vaccines, stuff that are coming up right now in regards to that, stuff that we have research on, and we believe that people should know this. You know who talks about this very, very, very in detail? And we'll talk about it in a minute, so I'm not going to get crazy detail yet. Russell Brand. If you guys do not follow Russell Brand, get onto his podcast. He, especially in Rumble, because there's an extended format there, and the stuff that they discuss, what he discusses when it comes to the vaccines or other sorts of corruption, is insane. You know what? It's crazy. I would never have thought I would say this, but if there's any type of journalism right now that I admire the most, is 2 people right now. They're on top of my list: Patrick Bet-David and Russell Brand. So it's if you guys are not following either one of them, PBD Podcast. I forget what Russell Brand's podcast is, but just search up his name. It's going to come up regardless. Now, topic number 3. Something that I find very interesting. I posted about this recently, and, you know, it's a red flag. I'm a little concerned by this. Well, very concerned by this. It might not be as big of a deal as I make it seem, but I think it very much is, and that's the Chinese police stations are opening up in New York City. Disclaimer right off the back. They're not, quote unquote, they're not targeting American citizens. So what it said. However, I am still doing my, you know, my research on it to see if that's true or not, because I think that's bullshit. But even though, let's eliminate that out of there, the shit they're doing here is wrong. And we'll get more into details on that. I feel like, yo, dude, did you hear? You know what, matter of fact, this is kind of a sidebar. But I don't know if any of you guys heard this, but there was a recent, we could discuss this towards the end as well when we compile all this. So random topic in there. Joe Biden in a video, did you see a video where he was talking into like she looked like she was like 12, 13 years old. He whispers into her ear, and it sounded like in the first time around, he says, he was talking about some sorts of like no guys under the under the age of 30. But then he goes back and says no guys, no man till 30, I think he said. It was like 2 different things, but the first one that came off was very bad.
Yes. Okay. So I heard, dude, I got this verbatim. He said, and you can quote me on this, motherfuckers. He said, no serious guys until you're 30.
That's exactly what I heard.
So no serious guys. So what does that mean? She's supposed to fuck around until she's 30?
Wait. Say that one again. I think I misheard.
He said, no serious guys until you're 30.
Oh, okay. So I did misunderstand. All right. So I got to correct myself there. I did misunderstand the video. That's why I didn't even post it, because I was going to post it. Now, let me make sure. Right. But no serious guys till you're 30. I mean, I don't know what that means. Whatever. What did creep me out though, and we'll share that video. We're going to backtrack to this. I want to cover the topics here, because I don't know if you watched the very end of the video where one of his security members just came up, reached in. That was fucking weird. But we'll get to that next at the end. So topic number 1, we have Tulsi Gabbard leaves the Democratic Party. All right. And when that event happened, many other things just started taking place. The attacks started coming on. Twitter started trending with Russian asset and a whole variety of other things. Now, let me tell you, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say that I was not excited when I saw that video come up, because she spoke some real big game there. I mean, like some real game where I'm like, yo, I want to see her back what she's saying, because this is what we need. And I see her as a potential, you know, as a very strong leader in this country. Mm-hmm. Many telltale signs. So for those of you who don't know, Tulsi Gabbard, you know, for a long time now, a lot of people already have been throwing out there she should just leave the Democratic Party, because she's like the outsider of the Democratic Party, right? And it's finally happened. She has left there. And the reason she left is because she called the Democratic Party a warmongering party, okay, filled with corruption, filled with, I believe she said, words of hate as well, and amongst other things. And these are stuff that we have already known. Most of us have tried to express to other people who are still supporting the Democratic Party, well, who are still supporting the people who are pushing those bad agendas in the Democratic Party. So now that she stepped away, in her video, I mean, dude, even to the Second Amendment, which were so conflicting things, because I was reading on some of the stuff she's voted on before, the stuff that she said, and it kind of contradicts what she said in the video. However, you know, I'm stand firm to believe people change, ideals change, you know, and I'm hoping that this is a case for her. But what are your thoughts on her leaving the Democratic Party?
I mean, I think, honestly, here's the thing. The Democratic Party has shifted so far left that even the regular Democrats who are just common sense people, like the good ones that are left, they can't even identify as that. They feel politically homeless because they just don't align with the radical ideologies that the left has and the elitists that have overtaken that party. So, I mean, I completely understand why she's doing it. And in the video that she made, it made perfect sense what she was saying. She's like, you know, they don't stand for freedom. They don't stand for the American dream, you know, all of that. And, you know, I agree with that. It didn't surprise me. I felt that it was something that was coming. But again, I just feel like she has to do a lot more to earn my trust. Do I like what she says?
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely. Do I think she has good ideas? Absolutely. But there's some stuff on her that makes me kind of question her intentions.
Absolutely. I mean, you were mentioning something with the World Economic Forum. Right off the bat, that's a red flag, right? That's something that doesn't sit well with me, because we know the World Economic Forum does not have an agenda that's pro for the people, right? We know this. And the fact that she has those attachments on there are crazy. Now, I want to put the disclaimer. I did not get into that part of the research with the World Economic Forum. However, I did hear about it. I know you're a little bit more informed on that, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So basically, she was selected, as one of the young global leaders. It was nominated by the Schwab Entrepreneur Foundation. She said in a tweet that she was honored of being selected. And this was tagging the World Economic Forum. And these are young global leaders. So you have to think about, at this point, in my opinion, I feel like that just turned me off from her completely. I just don't trust her at all because of that. If you have ties once to the World Economic Forum, it's just, here's the thing. She endorsed Biden in 2020,
which was my next point.
And look at what happened even leading to 2020. Look at all the nonsense that was happening. So it's just like, I don't understand how she woke up to this now. She was an insider to the party. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, how do you change so fast? You have to think about, you have to think about, like, you have to understand my paranoia. At this given time, these people are regrouping. The COVID nonsense didn't work. The coercion didn't work. The vaccine passports didn't work. So these people are regrouping, just like they hijacked the Democratic Party many, many years ago. Don't think that the Republican Party, that they're trying to do that next. You know, it could be like she's probably weaseling her way to get in favor with the GOP. And here's the thing. Right now, I mean, the COVID thing didn't work. Right now, the next thing, we already know that it's environmental lockdown, and that propaganda is the plan. Project Veritas released a video with one of the not the CEO, but like one of the producers of CNN, and that was like the next thing that was happening. So propaganda is the plan. Remember, like Nicole Kidman, I don't know if I showed you the video, but it was like her eating bugs and her supposedly liking it. But not even all her years of acting can save her face from the disgust that she fucking had. And towards the end, she was choking.
I've heard bugs taste pretty good. I'm actually curious to see how they taste.
I'll live vicariously through you. I'll stay with my steaks and my liver. Thank you. But these people, they believe in that you will own nothing and you will like it. So listen, anything with that, just it doesn't sit well with me. So we'll see.
No, it's insane because, again, it's like you just shared those things there, and obviously she has involvements in that. And you mentioned, endorsing Biden. In fact, I have a quote here from her. It says, "I'm suspending my presidential campaign and offering my full support to Vice President Joe Biden," Gabbard said. "I'm confident that he will lead our country guided by the spirit of aloha," she added. "I'm confident that he will lead our country." You know, here's the thing. She's not dumb. She's a smart woman. Yeah. And I know for a fact that when Biden was running for president, when the elections, when the debates were going on, I know that she saw that he was not right in the head.
Exactly.
Not she, sorry, that he was not right in the head. Excuse me. So it's like, how can you support this individual, this man who, you know, doesn't have a clean past, right? This man has been in politics for so many years. Clear, evident, he's corrupt. There's no doubt about it. Like, we know that before he was president. Now he's president, and we're leading towards what seems like could be a potential nuclear war, right? And it took you this long to step away and pretty much, you know, go against the Democratic Party. I mean, you know, there's got to be a lot of other things in play that we don't know, right? Obviously. But it's just like, I don't trust that. Me, right off the bat, I already knew Joe Biden was not right in the head. And I'm just a regular dude who's not necessarily around these people, right? Mm-hmm. She's involved in the Democratic Party. She knows who, what's this, oh my gosh, man, Vice President, Kamala Harris, there we go. She knows who Kamala Harris is. In fact, when they were debating, there were shots fired when those debates were going on. But he still chose to endorse that individual. Now it could be, hey, you know what? Trump is a complete polarizing person. I cannot support that because he's very divisive and all this other stuff.
Give me a break.
I mean, if you really feel that way, cool. But did you really believe that Biden was a better choice than Trump? Because believe me, even right now, I am not 100% fan of Trump. I have some serious disagreements with him, right? And with that being said, you know, if it's him or Biden, Trump all the way. Because 100%. Biden is just not there mentally. So everything is wrong with this man.
Dude, it's like, I feel, have you seen that movie? I forgot what the hell the name is of it. Sandra Bullock, and she has like the blindfold on. You know which one I'm talking about? Yeah.
That's when she names her kids boy, girl.
I forget the name of the movie, but you know which one I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. Bird Box.
I feel Bird Box. Okay. So I feel that the Democrats literally are Sandra Bullock, and they're like, no, everything is still better, even better than Trump. Like, I'm just like, no, fucking stupid, man.
That movie was fucking crazy. But yeah, you know, like, these people are just fucking, well, not even, they're not blind, man. These people are fully aware what they're doing. This is all purposely done, and there's just no negating. You can't neglect that fact.
Oh, for sure.
Now, the other thing that gets me too is just like, you know, she has pushed for tyrannical gun control measures as well, right? Which is another red flag for me. Now, there was a video that did surface, which was pretty interesting to me, because I'm wondering, all right, cool. Is this her changing her mind? Maybe she being around the people that she's around and stuff like that, you know, hey, who knows? What if that changed her mind? What if her beliefs have changed? I believe people can change. There's no doubt about that whatsoever. So I'm going to share it real quick. And this is where she became my little crush. Don't tell my wife, even though she's probably listening.
Black talk, big t-shirt, Billy. Watch on my wrist, but I want that. Niggas talk crazy when I pull up and slide. Alright, run that shit back, bitch, I'm stylish. Black talk, big t-shirt, Billy. Watch on my wrist, but I want that. Niggas talk crazy when I pull up and slide.
I could watch the whole thing, so I'm gonna stop.
You're so funny.
But no, on all seriousness, you know, I saw this video surface. I'm like, to me, that's different from what I've seen, from what I've, you know, heard. That seems like something that I wouldn't have expected her to put out there. And to see that's refreshing, because it tells me, well, maybe some of her, you know, ideals when it comes to the Second Amendment has changed, right? And I'm hoping so, because in a video that she spoke as well, where she was announcing her departure from the Democratic Party, she was talking about the Second Amendment. And she referred to the Second Amendment, my opinion, very eloquently, you know. And I was sitting there, I'm like, man, I can get behind this. It's just your past actions have discouraged me from wanting to get really behind this with you, right?
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that that's a change. I'm hoping that she's going to step up, you know, when it comes to the Second Amendment, and actually, you know, prevent these intrusions that are going on right now with organizations like the ATF, who's constantly infringing on our rights. Or like Biden, who's coming out talking about we're going to ban all assault rifles. You see, you know what I'm saying? Like that's my hopes. So I have a short measure for trust when it comes to her right now because of situations like that. But seeing her on the Joe Rogan podcast, see her on other shows as well, and hear her speak, it brings a lot of confidence. But words are just words, right? Words without action are dead. Put it that way. So if there's action behind it that we see, I can see her becoming such a strong leader in this nation that many, many people are willing to back. Because there's a lot of influential people right now that really like her. Right off the back, we got Joe Rogan. Patrick Bet-David speaks about her highly. Jocko Willink also speaks about her highly, right? So you already have a foundation of people that I respect very, very much who speak highly of her, and that's a good sign. That's a good sign. So I'm wondering maybe within there's been a change of heart or mindset.
Yeah, I mean, it could be, but again, people have gotten played over the last 2 years.
Yeah, 100%.
And so people can get played again, so that's why I'm like, we'll see. Even if she has like all these, intelligent people back in, I respect those people that you mentioned 100%. Yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day, people can get fooled. So
yeah, absolutely. But you know what is another thing that's very important to notice here? I remember this one time, I believe it was when Trump had COVID. I don't know if you recall that. And a lot of the Democrats are coming out saying some very, very brutal stuff, right? And I'm just like, geez, man, these people are just they're just insane, right?
They act like they're the party of tolerance and that they care for people, but they really don't. It's just a facade. Like they're evil people. Not all of them, but
yeah, no, absolutely.
Been wishing him death and all that is just fucking disgusting, man.
But here's the thing: when they were all doing that, there was one Democrat that I saw come up and said, "Hope for a speedy recovery." Nothing destructive. Was actually very professional, and in my opinion, that's when she earned my respect. Started earning my respect. Tulsi Gabbard was the only one I saw come up and actually publicly say, pretty much saying, "I hope you feel better or get better." Yeah. When other ones were just breaking him apart. You see what I'm saying? So when little things like that happen, it's reassuring to me because I'm like, those actions are important because what it tells me is that this person has a heart, this person has a sense of being, right? And this person is just not no fucking I would like to hope so. No globalist out there who just wants Trump gone because they know that Trump is a threat to what they're trying to push. You get what I'm saying? So those things right there to me are just, I see those things and I'm like, all right, there can be something big here. And I pray that this right here is nurtured and she actually sticks to her word. She does not turn her back on us like all these other Democrats and some Republicans have as well. Delivers what we need in this country to step away from, nuclear war, possible war with China. The inflation right now that's not going to slow down anytime soon. Shortages we're about to face, amongst many other things. So we'll see. We'll keep our fingers on the pulse there. I'm gonna cheer for her, man. I'm definitely gonna cheer for her and that she brings the changes that we need. She keeps to her word. And, I want to say that video where she's talking about departing the Democratic Party, I want to believe, too, that she wasn't only departing from the Democratic Party, but she was also departing from the WEF.
Yeah, so, I'd love to see that,
let's see. Yeah, let's see. Let's see how this goes, where this goes, because I think it's this is very big. This is very important. This right here, it further proves our point and the point of many other people that, the party's just so fucking far gone. And I don't see how people do not see that. People, man, what was it? 2020? No, was it 2020?
Tied to their identity.
But still, it's fucking crazy. When Trump was president, remember when Trump, what's it called? He gave the orders to bomb the general whatnot from Iran? Mm-hmm. And it became a whole ordeal. And they were talking about, I saw so many people post on social media. I'm sorry, it wasn't us. Blow up the White House. I'm sorry, it wasn't us. Do this.
Yeah, now exactly. Sympathizing with terrorists.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? And now we have a whole ordeal that's going on in Russia. We're the ones saying, hey, we should not be involved in that. We need to take care of home because home is not good right now.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of these people don't take their heads out the ass and they're just, you know what, let's go. We got to destroy Russia. Let's just kill Putin or whatever it is. Like all these crazy stuff. I'm just like, bro, if this was the conservative side saying the things you're saying, hell break loose. Straight up.
No, 100%.
It's insane. It's insane. But that's that. I'm excited to see what happens with her. I am, again, I am short on trust with her because of certain things as we mentioned. But I want to be I want to believe that she's going to stick to her word, and more leaders are going to step up. Because right now, to me, the one I'm the most excited for to run for president is DeSantis.
That would be great. That would be great.
Saying? That would be awesome. And here in Pennsylvania, I'm praying that Mastriano wins governorship here and gets rid of this asshole Shapiro and, potentially run for something else too. I think right now we're in a perfect place for people to start stepping up, which I've seen in many avenues, and really fight for our country. You know what I'm saying? Like in office. And it's crazy. And when we have organizations like Project Veritas that's just like crushing the game, man, I don't think it gets better than them. They just expose people out there. They have people in fear. They're like the Batman. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just crazy.
Here's the thing. If you are a fat slob and all of a sudden a pretty girl is interested in you, it's probably James O'Keefe. Just saying.
If they walk up to you and then within the first 30 seconds say, hey, my name is Ronnie or my name is whatever, and try to shake your hand, that's James O'Keefe. They're trying to make friends with you.
Yeah. Let me rephrase myself. If you're a fat slob, like in the corporate world working for like a big organization, I wanted to put that out there.
It's crazy because did you see that leaked video that came out with the teachers? When she was like, the one teacher was like paranoid that they have Veritas every corner.
Yeah.
Hey, stop recording me. Yo, I'm like, oh, bro, these people are like Batman for real, man. You're scared. You're worried that they're in the shadows waiting to get you. But it's awesome, bro.
They're awesome. Changing the journalism game, and I'm here for it. I love 100%.
I love it, man. I hope that they keep strong and they expose all the bullshit that's going on so we could get all these assholes out the way and just, live our lives. Man, when you come down to it all of us just want to live normal lives, and I know the normal that we knew prior to 2020 is gone right now, but we just want to build our life, want to build our businesses, grow our careers, raise our families, and just seek out new opportunities and just do the most we can with our lives. And to see that being taken away is sad. So with organizations like Project Veritas or podcasts coming up, speaking out against the stuff that's going on, it brings confidence that, there are people out there fighting and they're giving it their all. Even in the second, the 2A community, there's an organization called Firearms Policy Coalition, FPC. Mm-hmm. They're savages. I love them. But you know what? They're putting in work. They ain't taking shit. And that's what we need. And they're making a difference. So as Gun Owners of America as well. They're making a difference. So it brings a lot of confidence. I hope that they keep on going. I hope that Tulsi Gabbard steps up, stays to her word, and, really, really doesn't flip-flop on anything. And we see a difference in this country where we can start getting ourselves back on track at some point. And I know some might say that's wishful thinking, but hey, listen, I can't live my life being a pessimist, man. I got to be optimistic that there's something good that's going to come out of this. Maybe this was necessary for people to wake up, realize, yo, it's a bunch of bullshit that's going on. It's not okay, right? So that's the hopes. But I want to transition into topic number 2 because this is another thing that's very important, very, very concerning, right? I can't believe I read that article so guys, topic number 2, we're going to discuss COVID vaccines a bit. Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm glad I'm putting this video on Rumble. I mean, we're small, so I doubt anything will happen. But then again, my Instagram is pretty small, and I've had so many videos and pictures taken down. I'm surprised none of my recent stuff has been taken down, thankfully. So we're talking about the COVID vaccines because more bullshit is coming out about it, and people need to be aware that we're being lied to, that we're being played. I believe it was Moderna. They're doing great in the S&P 500. like really good, right?
Oh yeah.
And then yeah, I just saw the article today. I think it was published like 3 days ago. Let me see if I find it. But then you have stuff that come.
Oh wait, hold that thought really quick. I wanted to point out Joe Biden came out in a tweet saying that when the Republicans could have stood against Big Pharma, the Democrats did.
Wait, what? When he said that?
He said that in a tweet. I'm not on Twitter, so I got it on Instagram. I could be like a couple days late. God. But he said, I'm paraphrasing on that, but he said something along the lines of, when the Republicans could have stood against Big Pharma by cutting prescriptions in half. And, just not price gouging and, all that stuff. And then later he was saying that the Democrat Party did under his administration. It did. Joe Biden, newsflash, my dear. When you were in office with your tyrannical mandates, so you want to explain to me, how did Big Pharma earn $50 billion plus in revenue because of the COVID vaccine? So is that you standing against Big Pharma? I'm just curious.
Well, you know what I just read right now, because I'm trying to find that tweet, in hopes I find it. If Republicans in Congress get their way, prices will go up and inflation will get worse. I just wanted to point that part out. That is fucking insane. But I'm looking for the other part, because it's like, how are you going to say that, but you guys pushed and pushed and pushed the vaccine? Bro, you know how many people I know got vaccinated, not because they were concerned for their health, but concerned that they were going to lose their jobs and not feed their family. And you can't sit here and tell me, we didn't force, because there's people that told me, nobody was forced to get vaccinated. They could have just not gotten vaccinated. So you're telling me, lose their jobs? I mean, you're right in the sense, because I wasn't going to do it.
100%. I was on that train. I was ready to lose my job. That's the importance of having an emergency fund, guys. Just saying.
Exactly. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to have to take the risk because I'm not doing it. Other people caved in, whatever, for their own reasons. And it's like, you kind of did force them, because you're telling them either feed your family or not. That is wrong. That is wrong. That's an ultimatum that's just not fucking cool.
It's coercion. So I found the tweet. Okay. So it says, when it came time to help our seniors, every single Republican in Congress sided with Big Pharma. Democrats will protect Social Security and Medicare. Lowered prescription drug costs for Medicare recipients. MAGA Republicans. I love how he continues with that MAGA Republican bullshit.
Because he knows, they know what they're doing.
Exactly. It's marketing. So it says, want to put Social Security and Medicare on the chopping block. Voted against lower prescription drugs for Medicare recipients. Okay, so let's talk about the prescription drug costs for Medicare recipients. First of all, Trump, he actually was going to cut all of the costs in half. I mean, I'm sorry, not in half. He was to like $35 prescription, I think, for like insulin and stuff. Mm-hmm. And then later Joe Biden tried to do the same thing.
I don't recall that, but I do recall. And you know what? I'm curious to what happened to this bill. I don't know if you remember it. I would love to actually look into this. Maybe
we should go back to that.
Yeah, there was this bill that they were talking about where when it comes to like the medical stuff, like if you go to the hospital, you kind of get quoted up front before you just go get services done, and then you get this big ass bill. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you recall that, but I remember that being a thing. I was like, yo, that's awesome. And then I haven't heard from it since. I wouldn't be surprised. Why? Matter of fact, Pfizer-gate is currently trending on Twitter.
Oh,
I wonder what that's about. Yeah, right? Pfizer-gate. Oh, my gosh. But no, back to the vaccine thing. So what I wanted to point out, too, is that a lot of bullshit comes out of these vaccines. One of the things that came out is, let me open this here, because I saw you commented on here, guys. I have some show notes here.
Oh, yeah.
Article from the Economic Times. Playing video games can be life-threatening. Study says activity can trigger fatal heart problems in kids. All right. Playing video games may lead to life-threatening irregular heartbeat in susceptible children whose predisposition may have been previously unrecognized, according to a study. I don't know what's wrong with me today. The research published recently in the journal Heart Rhythm documents an uncommon but distinct pattern among children who lose consciousness while playing video games. What? Bro, I've grown up playing video games my entire fucking life.
Yeah, same. Do you recall? Do you recall ever losing conscious? I don't think I have, unless if I was trying to stay up late on a school night and then I knocked out.
It sounds like that whole sudden adult death syndrome that's starting.
SAD. More about. That's what it's called now.
Yeah, right. That's crazy, right? It's interesting too, because remember I mentioned earlier, a loved one of mine has been diagnosed with something, which came out of nowhere, and I've done my research on it recently, and there's been other cases where as led to this. And what am I leading up to, right? Well, I was reading this article. I think I sent that to you, right? Shit, I didn't even put it here in the notes, but I'm just gonna read the title, and that's about it. Okay, severe disease exacerbation after mRNA COVID-19 vaccination unmasked suspected multiple sclerosis as neuromyelitis optica spectrum disorder. A case report. And there's more here. Articles are going to be in the description, guys, so you can look at it right here. But essentially, the stuff that they're sharing on there, it's a very big concern because people are, there's adverse reactions that people are getting from the vaccines. That's no secret. Now, kids are suddenly dying playing video games. You got athletes who are dropping as well. All right, and you just randomly. Blood clots. Have you seen the pictures of the blood clots? The weird blood clots that are coming. That people
Dude,
are finding?
I saw a picture. It was fucking gross. It was like 7 feet long or something like that.
Holy shit! It is crazy, bro. It is insane. And you know what? There's people that still just don't believe it. They think it's all a conspiracy theory. It's like, bro, all it takes is some research.
Bro, this is the conspiracy. Fuck out of here, man. No, I'm just saying, this whole entire thing is the conspiracy against the American people. So these people, with their it's a conspiracy theory. Shut the fuck up, bro. We're living in the conspiracy. How about that?
Yo, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. But I know you have more information on to what's going on with the whole COVID situation.
Yeah.
Right now. We want to speak about that a little bit.
So really quick on that article, though, I want to noodle on that really quick because so I feel like so they're trying to cover up for crimes against humanity. You also have to see where this article was written and who the so-called experts are. So this article is from Australia. So remember what happened in Australia during COVID and all the COVID camps and the vaccination and the crazy lockdowns and people getting beat up for violating mask orders and all that stuff? Yeah, that's propaganda here. And then later you have the Pfizer director admits that the vaccine was never tested on preventing transmission. So it's crazy how they're just trying to cover up for all that. And by the way, the Pfizer CEO just pulled out of the European hearings for the COVID vaccine, just so you know.
And they're already trying to come up with the excuses for it.
Yeah. So basically, the video background on that was, I don't know who this guy is. I think he belonged to the parliament, or maybe he was a reporter. I'm not sure. But he basically was asking, hey, so what's the basis of this? Was this tested on preventing transmission? We want a transparent answer, yes or no, and I'm looking forward to it. So one of the Pfizer execs, she was like, we never, it was never tested on preventing transmission. And so that completely debunks the legality for the COVID vaccine passports that they were trying to pass in Europe. So it's a huge thing. I have to look into those trials. I don't really know much about it, but I just know a little bit about that, what I just spoke about. So I definitely want to go into that.
What gets me about that is how many times do we hear the president come on TV saying, if you get the vaccine, you won't get COVID, or you will prevent others from getting sick. How many times do we hear that? So it's been what that's telling me is that that's been a lie.
Yeah,
clearly.
100%.
I mean, what surprise is that to me? How many times have they lied to us? Many times, over and over and over again. So this is no surprise. right? It's just another lie added to what they're saying. And, you know, when it comes to these COVID vaccines, you can't talk about it. Even if things surface, which has surfaced many times about these vaccines, you're not allowed to talk about it. And if you are, they're going to make you the villain. They're going to say so much. They're going to call you so many different things because they don't want you to speak the truth. And what do I mean? I mean, look what happened with Joe Rogan when he took ivermectin. What did they say about him the entire time when he took ivermectin? Yo, he's out here taking horse paste.
Horse dewormers or something like
horse
that.
Horse dewormer, there we go. Bro, seriously? Like that's what you got to say about that?
It's communism. It's communist.
There's research on ivermectin. Ivermectin is not something that's new. Something that's been here for a while. And for you to just go out there and say that people like Joe Rogan out here taking horse dewormers, that's misinformation. That's a lie. But where's the accountability for those people? Right? Because we have a strong problem here when it comes to accountability. Matter of fact, I want to hit on another topic real quick. I'm going to throw in another thing. Alex Jones is to pay almost $1 billion for free speech. Now, my disclaimer, I don't know Alex Jones. Yeah, I don't know Alex Jones. I don't follow his content.
Mm-hmm.
And if what he said is true, because I don't know, I haven't been following it, it's not cool. It's not. I don't agree with it. Again, and I believe he's apologized for it. But either way, you know, I do believe everyone should be held accountable to whatever extent. But almost $1 billion for free speech, that's wrong.
They want to ruin your lives. So, that's basically what they're out to do.
So now this is where I'm getting at with the whole Alex Jones thing.
And they're trying to make an example out of him publicly to get people afraid.
100%. So here's my thing, right? They're persecuting him almost $1 billion for free speech, for misinformation. Why are these other people, like Joe Biden, amongst many other politicians, who are spreading misinformation that's getting people hurt and killed, are not being held accountable to the same degree or higher? Why? I mean, I know why. I have the understanding why. But I want people to ask themselves why. Why is it that they're going to hit them that hard? Oh, because it has to do with kids and this. I know. I got kids. I will be pissed off. If that was me, and, you know, I thought my kids were victims to that. We were victims to a situation like that. And somebody has said those statements that I heard that he said. Again, I've not been following. I will be pissed. I'll probably want to punch him in the face. You know? Like, if I'm being real as they come. However, I will not be okay with him getting fined almost $1 billion. It's crazy. Like you said, they're setting him up to be an example. Okay, because did you hear now they're going after Elon Musk? The FBI is opening an investigation on him now. With the whole
I heard about it, yeah. Bro, the FBI is a fucking joke, man.
It's crazy, man. If you guys are not putting the pieces together, these people don't give a shit about you, and they're going to keep investigating all these people who are against their agendas because they got an agenda to push, and they got a deadline for it. And there's people throwing wrenches in it, which is needed.
Yeah, and they're trying to accelerate it. The 2030 agenda that everybody thinks is a conspiracy theory, no, they're trying to accelerate it, bro.
It's crazy. You know, it sucks because I heard this actually in Andy Frisella's podcast, right? He was talking about, like, you know, how, you know, he agreed with the same thing I just said, where he's like, you know, it's wrong. But he said, that's what he said, it's wrong, right? But what they're giving him right now, almost $1 billion for free speech, it's totally wrong. But here's one thing that he's something that he said. I'm like, it's a whole fact. Look, I've known Alex Jones through certain content. I never followed him. I was never crazy about his content. It's just not something I found myself wanting to listen to. But, you know, I've heard clips. I've seen him on Joe Rogan. Actually, I saw him recently on Louder Than Crowder. And, you know, the guy's loud. He's like a cool guy. I'm not going to say he sounds like a bad guy. But some of the shit that he says, it's like, bro, this is why people don't fucking take us serious. When serious matters arise, it's been seen as a conspiracy theory right at the back. And it's just, you know what I'm saying? Like, it kind of like, I guess I don't know if I'm wording this correctly, but it's like you're like tearing up the value of what's real, authentic, that needs to be shared, right? So I don't know if that's the right way to put it. However, again, it's free speech. He should be allowed to use his free speech. We should not be charging anyone $1 billion for that, okay? And if you don't see where the trends are going right now, buddy, I don't know what else to say. I mean, I'm just saying what we've been saying in these podcasts or social media. It's like we need to wake up to this and tell these people to stop. I mean, Tulsi Gabbard, again, back to her, she stepped away from the Democratic Party because she's seen how wicked these people are. And I don't want to sound here like I'm just pointing fingers at the Democratic Party, because there are Republicans who are in that camp. They're undercover Democrats, in my opinion.
100%. And so going back to the whole vaccination thing. So look at Pfizer. If you know, the funny thing is that a few months back, you can say, hopefully my iPad doesn't hear me, but it says you could say, "Hey Siri." Okay, good. Oh, shut up, bitch. All right. So, so you say that, and then later you said, "Hey, who paid the largest criminal fine in history?" They would say, "Oh, it is Pfizer. They paid so and so this much." And then later, now you ask the same thing I tried tonight, so I could put it on the podcast. And then later, it just gives you a list. It doesn't say anything. Oh, I found a list of companies that paid the highest criminal fines in history.
On that list?
They're the number one. Yeah.
What's the question again? I want to see.
It's like you ask your phone, "Hey, who has paid the largest criminal fine in history?" Before, it used to come out. Now it doesn't. They just list it.
Who has paid the largest criminal fine in history?
Okay. Yeah.
Hey Siri, who has paid the largest criminal fine in history?
Okay, I found this on the web for who has paid the largest criminal fine in history. Check it out.
Exactly. They don't say it anymore. Apple doesn't say it anymore. Before, it said Pfizer. Like, Siri would actually tell you it was Pfizer.
Well, here, wait, hold on. Yeah. For number one, Scotsman.com. I'm not even opening the article, so things are out of context, guys, but I'm just reading what I see here. Pfizer has often been reported as paying the largest criminal fine in history, with the pharmaceutical company.
Oh, I could tell you because I read the article. Basically, because they fell foul of they fell foul of regulations. That's why.
But, you know, what still comes up to me, what comes to mind is, like, you know, we're entrusting this company to pretty much save lives. And they're not an ethical company. You know, I mean, shit happens, but we've heard so many things are popping up with Pfizer alone. That's just a concern, and tells me, I'm like, this is not a trustworthy company. Listen, matter of fact, here's another one from marketrealist.com. People who know who Market Realist is. Pfizer paid the largest criminal fine in U.S. history. Lawsuit details. Okay, I see in Pfizer 2009 settlement, the company had to pay a criminal fine of $1.195 billion, and it's $1.195 billion. That's crazy. That's insane.
Yeah, exactly. But here's the thing. Big Pharma, listen, all they care about is permanent customers. A customer cured is a customer lost. That's basically how they see it. They don't give a shit about you.
I don't doubt it. You know, I was watching this thing about a trainer who was talking about one of their customers, right? And when they were talking about their customers, they were seeing the medications they were on, and I've seen this happen to my mother, where they'll give you medication and then you have other symptoms that come up because of the medication. Then that transitions to another medication, and then, you know, that trend goes on. So you're taking like a ton of medications. And I have an uncle of mine who works out in Washington State. He does more like herbal medicines, acupuncture. Like, he's an actual doctor who does this stuff, right? And the results that his clients get out of there are like insane. If I lived out there, that's my doctor. Like, right off the bat, that's my doctor right there. I want to take his herbs. When I had COVID, he gave me some herbs that tasted like shit, and I think it had literal shit in it. But I'll tell you what, man, it helped. I kid you not, it helped. You know, it sucked. It felt like drinking mud, but it helped. And I didn't have to put all this other bullshit in my body that ultimately could cause other issues. You know? So that's a huge thing, man. These people don't care. These people are all about the money. And we've already seen this. Look, Moderna. Matter of fact, I'm gonna look it up right now. I'm just gonna read the topic, the title of it. Hold on, Moderna.
And after you do that, I'm going to talk about the Florida Department of Health study that
we'll
the Florida Surgeon General did.
We'll get into it, and then we'll move to the next topic. But here we go real quick. Where's it? S&P 500 closed it on. Not the bachelor's ahead. Where's it at? Let's see if I find it. The Moderna stocks. Whoa, you know what? I saw it this morning. All right, I'm going to find it. Let's get into the next topic, but we're not finding it. I will share it here, and I will put it down in the description as well, so you guys can read it yourselves.
All right. So the Florida General stated that in a study conducted by the Florida Department of Health after taking the vaccine, cardiac-related deaths increased by 84% in young men 28 days later after injection.
Roy, read that one more time.
Florida Surgeon General stated that in a study conducted by the Florida Department of Health after taking the vaccine, cardiac-related deaths increased by 84% in young men 28 days later.
Well, yeah, that's kind of like what we were just talking about not too long ago, how people are just suddenly dropping dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know.
And the Florida Department of Health recommends that young men between the ages of 18 and 39 do not get vaccinated. And amidst all of this, Twitter blocks Dr. Joseph Lepedo after reporting the study. Go figure. I mean, they deplatform anybody that don't agree with them. They're all communists. But he also states that if they had known that the vaccine increased death in young males by 84%, if they had the correct data, they would have never approved it. Now, Twitter released a statement after removing the tweet saying that their current misleading information policies cover synthetic and manipulated media, COVID-19, and civic integrity. There are people who have had serious injuries due to the vaccine. So there's a page that everyone should follow. It's on Instagram. It's called jab_injuries_USA. And there's a bunch of people, unfortunately, that have taken the COVID vaccine on there. And their stories are very, very sad. People that have been perfectly healthy and they have either died or they have had permanent injury. So I'm gonna do one real quick on just one post. You guys
sounds good.
Read it.
And I just found the article as well. So
you did? Oh, sick. So it says, Shariah is kind and a loving soul who thought that getting the vaccine would be best for her health. She had previous health concerns and got the Pfizer vaccine thinking it would protect herself and others. This is her heartbreaking story of how only one shot has caused paralysis of her right side and impacted her life where she can no longer work. And if you scroll, like it says in detail, like, you know, what happened to her. But the page is called, just so everybody knows again, it's called @jab_injuries_USA.
I'm going to look into that because I've never even heard of that page, but that's crazy. Hold on. I'm opening that article. That's insane. So, okay. See, I didn't even hear about that till you brought it up. Right? But again, it comes back to the whole point of all this suspicious stuff that's going on right now. All the things are coming onto light. But, you know, if you bring this up to anyone who's, you know, let's say pro-vaxxer or them, whatever, what do you think their response is going to be to that?
Oh, yeah. There's even some people, believe it or not, that have had the COVID vaccine and have had these things happen to them. And they said that if they still had the opportunity to go back, they said that they would do it again. That's how further brainwashed some of these people are. Some of these people, you just can't even help them. Like, you can't fix stupid.
You know what's crazy? So I was watching a couple of videos because I was doing some research on the COVID stuff today.
Mm-hmm.
And like, go start looking on some videos on like Pfizer vaccines and whatnot, and start reading some of the comments. Okay? And you're going to start seeing people who are like, yeah, I got vaccinated. I got my second one, got my third one. And it's like, you know, I got my second one, but I got a headache. I felt dizzy. I felt this. I felt that. But I can't wait to get my next one. Or I got my first one, waiting for the other one. But when I got this one, I felt stomach and diarrhea.
Oh, yeah.
I have diarrhea, this and that stuff I never had. But, you know, my other one's scheduled. I just want to get it out the way. I'm just like, dude, that doesn't sound right, man.
And there are some people I knew actually, one of the old DMs I used to work with at the previous company that I worked with. I remember that she called out sick for almost a week because she took her second booster and the flu vaccine at the same time.
Ooh, that does not sound like it would have been good.
Yo, I'm just like, in my head, I'm just like, bro, what did you expect, man? Like, what the fuck? People don't think these things through. And it's interesting to me how the medical community just ignores this. Like, her doctor should have her license taken away. I don't understand.
It kind of goes with the whole thing with kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I was talking to my wife about like kid vaccines and stuff like that. My kids are too young; they're under the age of 5. I don't think they're doing under the age of 5 yet. I think it's 5 and up, right? Where they just gave the approval. I don't know if you recall.
Well, they're trying to make it even lower than that. I don't know if they
know
succeeded.
That part, but right now I think they got approved for age 5 and up. And I'm like, if a doctor was to come tell me to get my kid vaccinated against COVID-19, after all the shit that we've been telling us since 2020, I'm just going to look at him and be like, you know what? I appreciate your help. We're going to pack our shit. We're getting the fuck out of here. I just don't trust you. I don't. Yeah. I don't trust that, because if you're going to share that information and based off my research, what I've read, I don't see no reason whatsoever why my child should get that vaccine.
I mean, the thing is that these doctors, they've been indoctrinated by Big Pharma. Who sponsors their education? You have to think about that.
It doesn't matter to me. We're supposed to trust you with our health.
100%.
You're supposed to be here and help us get healthier, right? You're supposed to give us the advice we need to make sure that we live a good, fruitful, abundant life. But I can't even trust you. I can't. Why? Because you're going to push on something on me that's probably going to cause harm, that could potentially even kill me. I just don't, the lack of trust right now in the medical field that I have is all self-inflicted by them, not anything else. It's not that I went on YouTube.com and went aluminum reptilian 312. That was very descriptive. Why do not take vaccines? It's not. No, it wasn't that. This is stuff I'm just went based off shit I'm hearing from you guys, how you guys contradict yourselves, and the studies that come out and sharing other shit that's, to me, it's a big concern. Just like Catherine just shared the whole thing in Florida. That raises red flags. Why would I want to get that? Why would any sensible person want to get that? And now, again, you're old, you're sick, you have all this adverse stuff, and you're on your way out. That sounds like the best way. I mean, everybody has the choice to do whatever they want at the end of the day. I'm just speaking for myself and just giving my opinions on these matters, right? But, me and my family, nah, bro. We're just not for us, because we can see past through the bullshit. And that's that. That's that.
Well, let's talk about this Chinese police thing that you were talking about.
We're gonna get there, because we're gonna wrap up with this last topic here, since we're coming to a close here. I just feel a lot of passion right now towards that whole vaccine situation because of the relative issue that's going on. And seeing how other people who I've met, who family members are having issues as well, and it's just something that I wish, I hope that people start waking more towards it, because I've seen people starting to realize the bullshit that they've been told. People who before would have supported all this now are coming to me and we're talking, and it's just like, yeah, I don't trust them. Right? And it's like, again, they did it to themselves. But next topic, guys, I want to cover this one topic because there's another point of concern here, right? And I posted this on Instagram not so long ago. And topic goes, Chinese police stations open up in New York City and more cities across the globe. Essentially, what's going on is that there's an organization, a nonprofit organization that has opened in New York City, okay? And this organization has issues with the IRS, where I believe they just have legal issues with the IRS at the moment, right? And from what I understand that they're doing is that they're working with the Chinese police department in order to persuade citizens who are here, or nationals who are here, who are Chinese, to go back home for crimes they committed, right? So I'm gonna read this right off how I have written. A Chinese police station set up to spy on the country's nationals in Lower Manhattan is run by a U.S. charity that is on an IRS blacklist, the Post has learned. This is from New York Post article. It's going to be in the description. These stations are meant to take a part of a web of more than 100 such law enforcement offices set up around the world by the People's Republic of China. Okay, to help Chinese nationals renew their government-issued identification and driver's license. This is what they're supposed to be doing. However, the stations have more sinister purposes, such as spying on the Chinese diaspora. I don't know if I said that right. For the Chinese Communist Party. You know, so this being Latino, like I want to say things like in a Spanish accent. No, that ain't right. So forgive me, guys. According to a recent whistleblower report, openly labeled as overseas police service stations that contribute to resolute cracking down on all kinds of illegal criminal activities involving overseas Chinese, according to a September report by Safeguard Defenders, a major-based human rights group that documents Chinese repressions around the world. That page, if you guys have not been on that website for what's called Safeguard Defenders, I suggest you go there. There's going to be a link on here that's going to have more details for this. Okay, I want to play this video here. Okay, let me open this here because it's very concerning. I'll share my screen here. We got some ads running, so let that run. I'm tired of so many ads. Okay, here. Now this is from Fox News.
It's aiming at silencing the community, silencing dissent, making sure that people are afraid enough, that they literally stated multiple times over the past months, over the past years, we will hunt you down wherever you are. So that's a clear message to anyone seeking to leave China or already having left China, that you're not safe anywhere. Our latest investigation, 110 overseas, China's transnational policing gone wild, documents one specific campaign operated by a couple of counties within China using illegal methods to target, approach, and persuade individuals abroad to return to China against their will. Illegal methods which included threatening, harassment of their family members, relatives back home, but also the use of individuals linked to the United Front operating in so-called overseas police stations everywhere in the world, across the 5 continents, to assist in these illegal policing operations against Chinese overseas. The particular campaign to counter telecom fraud, or at least that is what they call it, has brought back 230,000 individuals between April 2021 and July of this year, according to official numbers released by the Ministry of Public Security in China. So obviously we're talking huge numbers. So we started looking into this specific campaign carried out by a couple of provinces, a couple of counties in particular, and we came across the fact that they are now, using the kind of united front network that we know exists around the world, but that the Ministry of Public Security, the local county public security bureaus are building on this framework to set up this kind of overseas, well, not kind of, literally overseas police service centers that can be used and have been used. So this is obviously completely illegal. This is no regular international police cooperation, which obviously there's very strict rules. These have been set up without any knowledge of local authorities, without any request. I think it also shows how one brazen the CCP is getting and how little regard they have, I would say, for other governments. When they talk about non-interference, this is a kind of non-interference, I guess, that.
And I'm going to stop it right there. But it's insane. You heard how she said, which I'm going to bring up an article where the GOP leaders have brought it up to Biden's admin, talking about, do we know they're even here? Do they have visas to do what they're doing, like come here? Are they set up in more places than just that one place in New York City? I mean, there's so many more questions that go into detail there, right?
Oh, now, for sure.
Here's the thing. Look, according to Safeguard Defenders, between April 2021 and July 2022, Chinese police persuaded 230,000 claimed fugitives to return to China voluntarily, while admitting not all the targets have committed crimes. Have committed any crimes. Methods used by the Chinese to target Chinese include threatening and harassing family members, denying the target's children in China the right to education, punishing those without suspicion of any wrongdoing, guilt by association, and more. These stations are raising concerns among many, and it's being called a violation of international law and territorial sovereignty by the Safeguard Defenders. Okay, the article, the more details on the situation from Safeguard Defenders will be on this video if you guys want to check it out. Now, the GOP itself has presented some questions. Okay, and some of the questions that are proposed here, which I'm going to skip to the bottom of the article from yahoo.com, says this. Okay, considering the importance to safeguard the liberty of U.S. Persons and the sovereignty of the United States from foreign encroachment, we request that you kindly respond to the following questions by October 21st, 2022. So we're still waiting on a response for this. Questions go. Follow. Did the Department of State, Department of Justice, or any other agency of the federal government invite or approve China's, I can't even say the name, Fuzhou, I think I said it right, police to establish their presence in New York City? Is there any other Chinese law enforcement presence in the United States besides Fuzhou Police Overseas Services Station in New York City? Has the Biden administration rescinded the visa restrictions imposed by the previous administration on Chinese nationals engaged in United Front work activities? Has the Department of State issued any visas to Chinese nationals to perform law enforcement or other related government duties at the Fuzhou Police Overseas Service Stations in New York City? Had the Fuzhou Police Overseas Service Stations in New York City and any of its employees registered with the federal government in accordance with the Foreign Mission Act and Foreign Agents Restriction Act? And last question, has the Fuzhou Police Overseas Services Station in New York City engaged in any activities to monitor or harass U.S. residents, or has it coerced any perpetrated, oh my gosh, fugitive to go to China without due process under U.S. law? Guys, don't judge me. Judge me another time, okay? You guys get the point. Read the article. It's insane, right? Like, the fact that this is going on, no regard of, like, any rules of any other country. You just come in here, setting these up, and, like, there's major red flags. The fact that this one part I read here says, where is it at? Okay, where it goes, punishing those without suspicion of any wrongdoing by guilt by association, right? Or the other one where it's like, some of them might not even have committed any crimes. They're out here harassing people. Why are we allowing this? Why are they here? Why are they here harassing people? I know some of these people can be criminals, they can be bad people, get them the fuck out, whatever. But that's our job to do that, right? That's us, coordinating with the United States, not for you to set up a facility to carry out these operations. This ain't China. And not only are they here in the United States, they're amongst other countries as well. Right? So this is something that's spread out. But my concern is like, okay, what else are they doing? How much further are they going? Because from what I heard, they just caught a Chinese spy working for the NYPD not too long ago. Right? On top of that, we already discussed this before, the Chinese buying farmland. One of them in particular, from what I remember, being right by an Air Force base. Okay.
I just don't understand, like, why is this allowed in this country? I don't get it.
Why is New York City not doing anything actively that I'm aware of about this? Because I've researched and it doesn't seem like much has been done. The questions here have been brought up to the attention to the president's administration, but it's like, yo, we need to get on this quick. There's no reason why they should be buying the farmland like they're doing, right? Which is illegal in some states. And there's no reason why there should be setting up police stations here where they're carrying out operations. Now, if there's people here that need to go back there because they're committed a serious crime, you coordinate with the government. You coordinate with law enforcement, right? There's ways to go about stuff in order for justice to be served, but you don't just set up shop here and think it's okay to perform any type of operation like that. How much further are they going to extend their reach inside our country? That's my concern, because it's not like we have a golden relationship with China. The whole ordeal that's going on with Taiwan right now is just making tensions a lot worse. We already know that China and Russia is working together, right? They're coordinating together. Two people we have oppositions with right now at the moment, and one of them, well, not two people, two nations, and one of those nations are conducting operations here and buying up farmland.
I mean, there's a
amongst others.
reason why Joe Biden's called China Joe. He has that nickname.
I don't doubt it. And you know what? Like, I mean, we'll see. We'll see if he's really China Joe. He's about to get that spanking. You know what I'm saying? Like, this guy, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. The level, that's another conversation. But the fact that we have this in here, why is nothing being done that I've been aware of till now, with the GOP bringing up questions about this? Because it's wrong, right? You got a blacklisted nonprofit organization running out of New York City, doing operations with Chinese police, right? The People's Police, I think they call them. Crazy, it's an interesting name, right? The People's Police, right? Because they're for the people. Yet they do all kinds of crazy shit to the people, right? That's, they're the police for.
Yeah.
So unless they mean People's Police, like we're here to regulate the shit out of people, whatever. Point being, this is wrong. Why is this allowed? What's your thoughts?
Dude, I have no idea why this is allowed. I mean, especially here's the thing about New York City, okay? And this goes back to the politicians that are running it. I mean, I know that this may be a little bit of out of context, but like it kind of relates. I mean, look at the mayor of New York City, how he wants to allow 800,000 illegal immigrants to vote. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they're the gold standard either for laws. So
yeah, absolutely.
So for me, you never know, man. These people, and it's run by corrupt people. New York is run by corrupted politicians. So you never know whose pockets did the CCP line up to get that shit in. I highly doubt that these people don't really know that there's like, a Chinese, a station there. It makes no sense. You have to have permits. You have to have, you know what I mean? There's just like a certain due process for you to even set anything up in New York. And New York is extremely strict when it comes to stuff that.
My question is this. Do you think this will happen in Florida?
No, absolutely not. I don't think so.
I don't think so neither. I think if this was in Florida, there will be a lot more questions will be raised right now in this whole regards here.
Yeah, right? Just put it this way. I would be surprised. I don't think that would be a thing. Knowing how strict the permit situation is over here and everything, and how Ron DeSantis is, I highly doubt that would happen. Like I said, if it does, it would surprise the fuck out of me.
100%. But guys, I'm just gonna wrap it up with one final thought: is that clearly we can't live our lives in fear, right? We have to be optimistic. We have to, take care of our families, take care of home. Do our due diligence, help out wherever we can in our country that's struggling at the moment. But at the same token, we do also want to make sure that, you got to stay informed. You have to pray, stay informed, and take action, right? Do something that you can help with what's going on and prepare because, God forbid something does happen. We want to make sure your family's taken care of, right? Like the whole thought that there could be do I think there's a high likelihood that the United States would take a nuclear hit from Russia? I don't think so. But I'm not going to say it's not going to happen, right? I'm not going to say it can't happen because there are major red flags that have come up when we discussed the last episode. But what I will say is that I'd rather be prepared with my family than not prepared. What you got there?
I found the video for Joe Biden and the kid.
Oh, you found the one? Oh, yeah. So let's cover that. Let's talk about that for a quick minute before
really
we wrap up because it's crazy.
I ended up
I want to know that I'm not insane.
It's very spooky.
Wait, Catherine, can you send it to me instead?
Huh?
Can you send it to me instead, or is that on Instagram?
No, it's on Instagram.
Damn it. Okay.
Very important thing I told my daughter and granddaughters, no serious guys till you're 30. No serious guys till you're 30.
Wait. Okay. I don't know. I feel like I heard something else in that first part. He mumbles. It's kind of hard to put things together. The second part definitely says no serious guys till you're 30, right?
Yeah.
I thought he said no serious guys under 30 at the first part.
No, he said no serious guys at least until you're 30.
Play that first part again. It must be my hearing. And then as you guys are, oh, there it goes. Hold on.
Now, very important thing I told my daughter and granddaughters, no serious guys in the 30s.
It might just be me because he mumbles. So that part, okay. So that second part, he definitely said till you're 30. He definitely 100% said that. No doubt.
Yeah.
That first part is where I'm like, oh.
No, he said the same thing.
Okay. So what the other part that really creeped me out, well, the main part that creeped me out about that video, or like made me red flags went up, was if you guys watch that video, if you guys find that video, watch it, you'll see at the end of the video, his bodyguards come out and reach out towards him right away. Like you can see like the urgency. Yeah, like the urgency in the face. Like, oh no, like they're trying to stop it. As soon as I saw that, I'm like, wow, this is crazy.
And the kid, bro, she looks so uncomfortable too. Oh
yeah, she looked very uncomfortable. But unless something behind the camera was going on to raise the alert of this man was about to go in there. It was like, all right, we need to shut him up. He can't talk no more. It's done, you know?
This guy needs like a silver alert put out on him, bro.
Wow, guys, it's you know, we laugh about this, but it's sad, bro. It really is sad how far gone we are, to the point that we have a leader of the free world, or whatever you want to call it. It's just a jackass.
But he can't.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy. It's crazy, bro. But guys, thank you for tuning in again. Hope we didn't talk your ear off with boredom. Hope you guys get value from this, and if you do, just make sure you share the show, because we're gonna grow, and we're gonna have more information on here, and hopefully we're gonna have more people who come on here who can really give some very, very valuable insight. So shout out to y'all. Take care.
Regulate. Perfect. Regulate. Heard they talking spicy, time to regulate. Heard they talking about me, I'ma regulate. They don't really wanna see me regulate.